Bradley Van Herps with Brides, Bumps, and Babies Photography, another episode in the video blog series. Today, part 2 with MiHi Photo Booth, and this is Sara Stolpe.
Hi there.
So last episode we talked kind of overarching about all the touch points and offerings that you guys have, which are killer, so make sure you watch episode 1. But today, we're just going to kind of dive in a little deeper, what to ask and how Sarah's like a good planner and can kind of guide you through the process, I guess.
Yeah. So just things to consider when you're hiring a photo booth company. Hopefully it's us, but if it's not, just things to keep in the back of your mind to ask, because not everybody thinks about this sort of things.
So what are some examples, or how would you lead them down the path?
Sure. So usually the first thing we start talking about is timing, because in order for you to book one of our packages, we kind of need to know how long we're going to be there, since they are all sort of time-based. So it all sort of depends on if you want us there during your cocktail hour, but then most weddings tend to have a dinner where people's attention is elsewhere, people are giving speeches, first dances are happening, that sort of thing, so nobody's really using the photo booth during that time. So in order to kind of get the most bang for your buck, you want to ask if we offer what are called idle hours, meaning that the booth will already be set up, but we'll have a period of time where
I was just
it's
going to
not
ask
operating.
that. Yeah, it's going to go dark for a bit.
Exactly. And so we offer those at a half price compared to our normal per hour additional hours or anything like that. So if you do want it during cocktail hour, we recommend during cocktail hour, and then having anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on how long your dinner and everything like that will be, and then have it open back up after dinner for the rest of the reception. And then timing-wise there will just sort of depend on how late your reception is.
So once, and hopefully they have a wedding planner or at least someone coordinating from the venue side, once you have a set timeline that was crafted for the wedding, then you have some planning experience in your background, so you can look at that and go, here's what we recommend based on this, this, and this.
Yep. So I don't need anything crazy as far as details. We kind of want to know, what time does your ceremony and cocktail hour start. Sometimes it's important. Some places you're having the ceremony and the cocktail hour in the same space. We need to know that information, so that we're not loading in or starting to set up right in the middle of your ceremony. But really the basics I need are the time that the cocktail hour starts, the time the dinner starts, approximately how long you need for dinner, dancing, and speeches, and then what time your event ends. And then I can kind of recommend, based on that, what package you need as far as timing and adding in idle hours or anything like that.
I just thought of something that might relate. Timeline is a timeline, but what about if there's any not political, but like within the family dynamics, or so-and-so passed away, or this or that. I mean, could this, even going into your flashcards, if there's a certain saying, and maybe I'm bringing up a new opportunity to just to avoid some faux pas or something, like is there anything like that where, so-and-so passed away from something, or there's divorce in the families, or I don't think you have anything that's that fun, but I'm just trying to think, it just struck me that maybe, I know I always ask those questions as a photographer of what's the dynamic of the family, and maybe since they go dark during dinner, they don't want it, but maybe they're a fun family that's like, you know what, we're going to be getting up and around a lot, or there's kids that might want to jump in front of it.
I mean, we certainly, just because we recommend idle time, it's not required by any means. They can leave it open during dinner if it is going to be, especially if it's like a buffet where everybody's up and moving around and everything like that. I tend to recommend it because the booth doesn't get used as much, and we want to make sure that people are getting the most for their money. So if they're only paying for a 3-hour time frame, and an hour of that people are not going to be paying attention, we'd much rather say, hey, you want to spend just $75 more, and then we'll be able to have those full 3 operating hours during a time when people are actually going to be using the booth. So it just sort of depends on that, and depends on the layout and everything like that. And obviously we work some smaller weddings that are only did one a couple weeks ago that's only 40 people. So they left it open the entire time, because there was never, when there were speeches, it was 2 or 3 minutes. It didn't take away the attention for a long period of time.
Well, you don't need to go dark, so it's just it's such a small increment of time. That's interesting, because a lot of people probably don't think that much into the timing, and they just go price and a block of time, but
Yeah.
that block of time does need some
Exactly,
dissecting.
and that's why, like, a lot of times when people call, they're like, well, I think I need you for like 3 hours, and I was like, I always ask, okay, well, just give me a general overview of your timeline. And when they say, well, we're doing dinner from this time to this time, I always say, well, would you be interested in adding an idle hour? Because it's not something, you know, we think about it because we do it every day.
Yeah.
And maybe even event people and planners might think to ask of it, but brides and grooms and people that are having social events, one-off social events, don't think to ask for that.
It's not just ordering a pizza. Like, it's like, there is a little more to it,
Yeah.
which is good. I'm glad we're doing this, because even I was thinking, oh, you just set it up and go.
Which we can, but again, we want to make sure you're getting the most for your money, and that the booth will be used as much as possible.
And get the most fun and
That's what we're for.
cool moments,
Yeah.
you know, so. What else, you think, anything else you want to touch on?
Yeah, so I mean, we get a lot of people that obviously have a slightly lower budget, and one way that we can cut costs in that way is if they are okay with having a fully digital booth versus a print booth. So the differences would kind of be with a print booth, obviously, we kind of all already know what that one looks like. People come in, they take a picture, the printer.
And you have more hard costs. You've got ink, printer, wear and tear, physical paper for printing.
And attendance. So we, our selfie booth or our boomerang booth is unattended. So we come in, we set it up, or you have two options. You can either, if you're on a really tight budget, you or someone with your bridal party can actually come pick it up from us, set it up on your own. There's step-by-step instructions.
I've never heard of that. That's interesting.
Yeah, so that one's our full selfie booth. That one is $450 for the day.
Including self-setup and
Self-setup,
stretching it down. So selfie pictures, but self-setup as well.
Literally selfie.
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah, so they come pick it up from us, they set it up, it comes with step-by-step instructions, it only takes about 15 minutes to set up, and then it can operate, they can keep it for up to 23 hours, so they come and pick it up the morning of their event and bring it back the morning after.
Yeah.
It really works a lot for some of our weddings that are also a little bit further out, like we do a lot of mountain weddings, but if they just want to pick it up on their way out of town, then they can
because
pick
that
it
probably
up.
does add up a little bit of travel time and all of that for your employees and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you know that's sort of our more budget friendly, and those they can either text or email right there from the booth. It goes directly to the person's phone or email address, and then they can easily share and everything like that. Versus our print booths, which again we talked about. So those are sort of the two differences and things to think about is if you are on a tighter budget, if you're okay with not getting a physical printout, then the digital only booths are the way to go.
That's killer.
Yeah. Other things to think about too is the actual placement of your booth within the venue. We have a lot of people that will, you know, obviously every venue is different, but let's say it has a little small side room close to where the reception is but not connected. That's, you know, maybe 10 by 15 feet. People are like, oh, that's a perfect size for the photo booth.
Because it gets disconnected from the party.
Nobody knows that it's there.
Yeah, and they forget probably.
Nobody comes. We have the attendant will, you know, have to come into the space
Yeah.
and say, everybody come into the photo booth, and even then, like a few people will come when they come and do that, but then those people will be there and nobody knows.
Since you guys have a lot of experience at tons of venues, obviously you can guide them and it's tried and true. What if it's a new venue? Would you maybe take the time to do a site visit, or maybe at least to speak with the venue manager and go, hey, where do you guys normally do it?
We can if that's necessary, if it's somewhere that we haven't been, if we're not sure. It's really more so just, we just generally ask the question, like, are we going to be in the main room? And if they say no, we say, like, just from our experience, you might, because obviously sometimes the option, there's no other option. It's a smaller venue. Even if it's not a smaller venue, if you've completely taken up all of the other space, because we really don't have that large of a footprint. We only take up about 10 foot by 10 foot. We can operate in something as small as 8 feet by 8 feet. So it really just depends on the venue, but it's just more so asking the question of, hey, where are you going to be placing us?
I just thought of a great idea is, you already know this, but have an outgoing person that you have on site, which you do, and welcome them in. I would also have that worker go to the DJ and go, hey man, make sure you remind them. And everyone, remember, we're over there, or in the room closet, unfortunately. If it's not in the best area, at least they can announce and spur people over the mic.
And we do generally also ask our attendants to have the DJ announce like 30 minutes before, so that people kind of know when the booth. Because sometimes we go all the way until the reception ends, and sometimes people are like,
Yeah.
no, we'll just go till 10, even though we have the space
So
until
more
11.
announcements, if it's not in the best area, unfortunately, a few more announcements here and there, so,
Exactly.
yeah, wow,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's kind of all I have. I mean, everything else is pretty self-explanatory,
Yeah.
because the things that you do automatically think of when you think of a photo
But
booth.
yeah, the takeaways are, you know, they have a lot of planning experience, they've been killing it at tons of venues, so they know the venue spaces, they have good ideas on how to maximize your timeline, which gets you the maximum for your budget, your time, and the most photos that are fun, you know, to remember about.
Absolutely.
So. All right, guys, so we're gonna wrap up this episode. Sarah with MiHi Photo Booth. Hey, what's the URL? We'll put this down here, just so they can.
www.mihiphotoBooth.com.
MIHI.
MIHI photobooth.com.
All right, cool. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Thank you.